Was Mighty Doom a good game? Hello and welcome to another video. This time I'm gonna be talking about if I consider that Mighty Doom, the game for phones, for cell phones, was any good or if it was, just a cash grab for Xbox and the other companies. For the people that may not know what Mighty Doom was you know, very simple game based on the Doom franchise that was launched for phones around 3 years ago, approximately, maybe even 4 years ago, and was a little bit taking advantage of the hype that Doom Eternal on his most recent DLC had at the moment. What you see here is the gameplay that I had of that game on the time. For people that may be curious, no, the game has not come back and you're not gonna be able to play it again. This is old footage that I have. So this is all we have about the game. Now that I say that, I will start the topic. For me, trying to give a short answer now, yeah, it was a good game for cell phones. Obviously, not a good game compared to, all the industry in general. But for the public and the platform it was launched, I will say, yeah, it was a good game. I'm gonna try to quickly talk about the sections of the game, the different things that it offered, and if they were good or bad. First off, you have the normal mode, the story mode or campaign. There were different levels with phases, like you see here, phase 6 out of 20. You had from levels with 10 phases to levels that had over 20. Each 5 or 10, depending on the level, had boss fights. Each boss was, literally any kind of demon that you find in any normal Doom game. You had from the pinkies to the zombies to the stalkers and everything. All of them were bosses here. And later on, the more you progress on the game, they will become normal enemies. And honestly, the enemy variety was very simple. You had very little enemies, and each enemy was very simple with just 2 or 3 different attacks or things that they were able to do. But because the levels were short, each phase was short in a small map with different interactive objects, like you see there that I was able to blow some explosives there and you have objects to take cover and so. The game was entertaining. Even if you didn't have a lot of variety to take advantage of, you were always in movement, always attacking. You had 3 difficulties to choose from when you were able to play, but to unlock the last one you had to be able to beat the other 2 difficulties, so you had a little bit of replayability there. Also, there was another mode that was the events mode. The events mode was a lot of random levels, basically, depending on the holidays or the event in question. We had special levels for things like the QuakeCon or the holidays like Halloween or Christmas. So we had different thematic levels with different modifications, like sometimes one level was able to make all the enemies do insane amounts of damage with fire, but they will be incredibly weak to any kind of cold damage. So you were, encouraged to go and pass the level with certain equipment. Or other levels, you were only able to kill the enemies by executing them. So you had some power-ups and things to execute them like Berserk. Now, each level was able to give you a ton of rewards that vary depending on the difficulty, of course, but the event rewards were always good to a certain level. Now, aside from these levels that changed every day on the holidays that gave replayability to all of this, we also had an RNG component. Every time you got certain amount of points by beating levels, you had to buy different chests. Those chests will give you weapons or armor for this layer, or even some special shards to unlock other layers. And that is the next thing. We had different layers. Like this one on screen is a layer that is able to blow the enemies into different fire attacks when they die, so they damage their own allies. We had things like the Zombie Slayer that was able to revive if killed. We had things like the Golden Slayer that was able to, recharge the cooldown of his secondary weapon at any time he got an execution or a normal kill with the same weapon. Not only that, we also had different weapons from the shotgun to the Gatling gun to the BFG to the chainsaw, and each weapon had their own modifiers like you see here on the screen. So each weapon had replayability because some days you're gonna be able to play with a shotgun that was doing fire damage. Other times you had a shotgun that was able to shoot to different directions, and those bullets will bounce and kill everyone around the map. So you had weapons that were able to give you a lot of replayability. Even if you had a few levels, those levels were always entertaining. You had a variety of slayers to play with, and not only that, but you had different difficulties to choose from, so you could keep the game being casual, hard, or really hard in case that you wanted. Not only that, but overall, I will say that even the visual aspect was really good in this game for what it was aimed at. It was, young people at the time. So the only bad thing that I would say on this game was that had an RNG aspect on the rewards when you open and share. But overall, everything else about this game it was really nice. I will be giving it a 9 out of 10.